Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And of course, when you think of late round quarterbacks in the NFL draft, the most famous is Thomas Edward Brady, sixth round pick, 199th overall by the New England Patriots, and is almost universally seen as the GOAT, at least at the quarterback position in NFL history. But I mean, even recently, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy with the San Francisco 49ers, has truly excelled and is widely expected to get a large lump of money in a new extension once him and the 49ers come to an agreement there. So, there have been success stories as late round quarterbacks. I think most of you know why I'm bringing up this subject, because of Shedeur Sanders and the shocking drop, not drafted on day one, not drafted on day two, and it took until the fifth round of day three for Shedeur Sanders to finally get drafted, of course, by the Cleveland Browns, 144th overall. I mean, the Cleveland Browns have seemingly been looking for a franchise quarterback for forever. I mean, maybe they gave up on Baker Mayfield too soon. But anyhow, of course, the Deshaun Watson trade didn't come close to panning out, and now there's a chance he could miss the whole season. Despite being a fifth-round pick, there's not really there really is an avenue for him to potentially start, even if it's not week one. They did bring back Joe Flacco, but he's 40 years old. Yes, he was comeback player of the year 2 years ago due to his time with the Browns, but didn't really perform all that well with the Colts last year. And they traded for Kenny Pickett, a guy who's been traded twice since being selected in the first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So not exactly, the most talented quarterback room in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders will be joining that. But to be honest, fifth round quarterbacks have not been all that successful. Honestly, I was looking into it who have been the most successful, at least since the Super Bowl era. Probably the most successful would be this guy here, Mark Brunell, long time Jacksonville Jaguar, but was drafted by the Packers, fifth round in the 1993 NFL draft. Did have a very solid career for sure. Starting 151 games, going 5 games over 500, 32,072 passing yards, 184 touchdowns, just 108 interceptions. So a very good career. Had 3 Pro Bowls. I believe he led the league in passing yards in 1996. Had a total of 6 seasons with at least 3,000 passing yards, and did have a 5-5 record as a starting quarterback in the postseason, including taking the Jaguars to the AFC Championship game in the 1996. And then honestly, probably the second best quarterback selected in the fifth round would be Steve Grogan. Yes, played way back and probably some of you may never even heard of him. Fifth round, 1975 NFL draft, played his whole career with the New England Patriots. 16 years, went 75-60 as a starter. 26,886 yards, 182 passing touchdowns, 20 game-winning drives in his career. Did lead the league in touchdowns with 28 in 1979, although never won a playoff game as a starter. Was a backup to Tony Eason the year they did make the Super Bowl, but lost to the Chicago Browns. So, yes, that's honestly probably the 2 best quarterbacks, at least in the Super Bowl era, drafted in the fifth round. So not a lot of success stories. A guy like Bob Waterfield was drafted way back in 1944 in the fifth round, although it was a 42nd overall pick. Obviously not a lot of teams back then, and he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Some recent fifth round quarterbacks, Spencer Rattler, of course, started a handful of games with the Saints this past season. Sam Howell, who was actually traded to the Seahawks today, and to the Vikings today, and threw for a bunch of yards with the Commanders in 2023, although had a lot of turnovers as well. Mike White, of course, had those few great games with the Jets. AJ McCarron, Josh Johnson, who's seemingly been with every single team. Not quite, but he's been with quite a few. And again, just hasn't been the most successful round. Now I know, a lot of people believe that there was some type of it was off the field stuff that got Shedeur not drafted earlier. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and guess what the reasons are. I mean, some think Dion is too brash. They wouldn't want that noise around the team, especially if he were to be a backup quarterback. They wouldn't want Dion going to the media saying, he should be starting or whatever. And we just haven't seen a lot of second-round quarterbacks in recent memory. And, I mean, it's hard to speculate. I mean, it's crazy because he's Mel Kiper Jr.'s top-rated quarterback, even over Cam Ward, who was the first overall pick. He's a guy who wore Giants cleats, saying that he believed the Giants would take him, and this is when it seemed like the Giants were the first overall pick until they defeated the Colts. But yeah, he's not a fifth-round talent. He's clearly more talented than that. So, if he does perform as the best fifth-round quarterback of all time, Mark Brunell, definitely a very good quarterback, but nowhere near Hall of Fame status. Not saying Shedeur could get there. But, it's going to be really interesting to see. Of course, people are going to say, well, the Browns drafted him. That's, that takes away any hope of him having that type of career. But we'll see. But, yeah, it was quite amazing to watch him slide like that. I can't recall anything happening like this. Of course, you might say, oh, Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is still a first-round pick. But, yeah, a guy who was mocked to go in the first round throughout much of the mock draft period. Then, some speculated maybe he could fall outside the first round. No one believed he would have to wait all the way till the fifth round. But yeah, Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns. Will he get a chance to start this upcoming season? Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.